What's happening? What's going on? What's up? K Mega 405 coming to you live from the 405. Well, I'm just your regular gamer talking to the intelligent gamers out there. Welcome, 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 welcome. We are back with a new week of my thoughts, giving my thoughts. I don't know if there'll be some people popping in or not. You know, like I said, it is what it is. It's an open platform. All you got to do is just hop into the Discord, know where we at. Anyway, man, there is a lot to discuss, man. There was a lot that went over the weekend. There's a lot that came in a couple of days, but I do kind of want to drop this out right off the bat. This was kind of crazy to me. Hold on, let me mess around with this one thing. That looked kind of crazy. Let's see if that's that background looks a little bit different. Hopefully, okay. Looks, I don't know if the settings look a little weird, let me know. I mean, not the settings, but the background. If it looks like really just, the colors of it or whatever, if it looks crazy, then let me know. Hopefully that's just coming from my feed. What's happening with you? What's going on with you, bro? Thank you for coming through. Thank you for coming through. As you can see, we got this little thing working, so I'm glad to get to show you guys what y'all see in the chat and things like that. But anyway, welcome. The first thing I do want to talk about is the Spider-Man 2 PC thing. That thing is very weird. Like, okay, so I've been waiting to get some information on how much it cost. It's supposed to be dropping tomorrow, and there's no sign of it at all. Like it's like in limbo. And so there's speculation that the game is going to get delayed. I mean, it is coming out tomorrow, or that it could be shadow dropped. I mean, of course, that you got stance out there they're trying to say that, well, Sony is giving up on PC gamers and all this and that and the third. That's a bunch of BS, because they've already showed the price for the Ronin game. I think it's Rise of Ronin, and the remaster to The Last of Us 2. So I don't know. I did see a video from somebody that was bringing up what's going on with you, Big Bad Mo, that because of the wildfires, that's kind of put them behind, but that still doesn't really answer the question. I mean, that would be something that would be put out there. But what's really crazy as well is that there's people on that's been on Twitter X that's been asking the question, hit up Insomniac. The Insomniac keeps insisting that it's dropping tomorrow. So it is pretty baffling to me that there is no price, there is no stats on how the game will run. I mean, if it's anything like how Spider-Man Miles Morales' the Spider-Man Remastered is on the PC, it will be immaculate. There is no question about that. Nix it does a fabulous job with what PlayStation. It was a great acquire from PlayStation. But so I'm not too worried about that. It's just kind of odd. I think maybe that it might get announced for being delayed, but I don't know. But I was looking to see, but there was somebody that, I think it was Flamish, that sent it to me, that there was, I think it was Flamish, because I was asking anybody, did they know anything last week? Because that was really odd. And then there was showing that from just one site, that the price was like almost $70, like $66 or something like that. And I'm not paying that for no game that's been out for over a year, and especially when you look at kind of like the norm of what PlayStation games kind of cost, is around usually $50. So, if it's 60, yeah, I don't know. I might swing it, but 50 is usually the amount. And then, of course, you can get discounts by going to different sites and things like that. And maybe that's what Sony is trying to avoid, because they want to get the top dollar and not have CD keys or others out there that has those keys, and they can sell them at a discount. I have no idea, but it really doesn't make any sense, because of the fact that you can see that The Last of Us Remastered is I see it 47. Rise of Ronin is like $47, $42 or something like that for pre-order now. So I don't know. I have no idea. It's pretty baffling to me. Oh, you said I can fan it's not tomorrow, but the day after tomorrow. Well, yes, right. It's the 28th. It's the 30th is when this is supposed to be dropping. So if we don't find out something about tomorrow, I don't know. That's going to be pretty weird to me. So I don't know. I have no clue. But let's see. Uh, let's see what's going on here. Um, change this to. Yeah, this is I think when I was playing. Oh, my gameplay here is where I was trying to test this. Okay, yeah, there it goes. What I was going to like because I was testing the settings on this game, and at first I was like it was like, man, this game is running like trash, and then I changed the settings again, and then it was running perfectly, but it needed to be optimized a little bit better. But for an indie game, I really did like it, and you'll see the more that I play the game, the more that you'll see it smooths out and it gets really better. But I like the game. I mean, for the price that I got it for, it's not bad. It's actually really fun. So, but that's the whole point of me showing gameplay, so you guys can decide or whatever. It'll run fine on Xbox, but this was me. I was over here trying to go max, full, ultra, everything, and then at first I was like, oh, this thing is buggy. Then I changed it, went back, did some other stuff, whatever. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about what the gameplay for this game here, which is called Disorder. Which it does favor, like I think somebody said when I showed the gameplay of it, it was they said a Temu version of Stellar Blade, which it is. I mean, because you could tell it's a lower budget game. But again, what's really crazy, if Sony didn't get a hold of the studio and help fund it, we don't know how good that game would have been or how well it would have performed. So again, that's just one of those things. And I like jumping in and playing some games that, you know, I'm really big fan of hack and slash. So if hack and slash, which it looks like now, where we're jumping into that time frame where the hack and slash is returned, I mean, I'm giddy as hell for that. So it is what it is. What up with you? What's going on with you guys? Well, Husky, what's up with you, brother? I'm doing good, brother. I'm doing good. You know what I'm saying? And of course, Rich Chili is in the house. Yes. Oh, okay. So, well, hold on now, Richili. We're not talking about 30 years from 30-year-old console. We're talking about when you bought the console, and maybe if you want to say when it first got discounted, that's as far as it go. Not the best affordable console was the $100 PS1 Slim. Bro, are you kidding me? The PS1 Slim was not $100. Are you? The one thing that was $100 is I got right there. That's behind the Kobe Bryant book, Memento. Is that little console? I forgot what they're called, but the mini PlayStation 1. That was $100. Not you must have got it at a swap meet or garage sale or maybe somewhere else, man. No, And I would not pay $100 for a PlayStation 1 because you do not know how long that PlayStation is going to last. PlayStation 1's, man, you talk about the red ring of death, man. The PlayStation 1s, I went through so many PlayStation 1s, it was ridiculous. But anyway, that's a whole nother topic. I've talked about that before. Shout out to my homeboy that worked at KB Toy Store at the time. Let's see. Yeah, but Richili's over here saying, but the Series S was crazy value in 2020 when everything was overpriced. That's the whole point of it. Like, I mean, I don't mind the debate. That's why I was asking the question. But you can't say $100 because the Slim was not $100 when I bought it. Because like I said, I bought so many PlayStation 1s. That was the most console I got. That was yeah, that definitely. It's between the PlayStation 1 and the 360. But no, hands down, because I like I said, I had a homeboy that worked at KB Toy Store, and so I could just kind of go in there and just kind of pay the fee, the return fee, or for him, just putting a little bit of money in his pocket, like $20-$40, and then he would go and he would exchange it. So I went through anywhere from 10 to 12 PlayStation 1s. That's how many I went through. And I mean, and I went through the phase of turning them upside down, letting the disc. I mean, it was a poorly designed console, but it was one of the greatest consoles of all time. So it's pretty crazy how much I love the PlayStation 1, but how much the PlayStation 1 was a flawed piece of hardware. That I would just just die out in a heartbeat. And it almost made it seem like that was the intention, but I don't really think so, because this was Sony's first console. I just think that it was just, they just put in cheap parts, and that eye reader would just go out really, really quick. It wasn't expecting, I guess, kids and young adults to be playing the hell out of the games that we were at the time. So yeah. Anyway, but yeah, the 360. I went through the 360 the second most for sure, because of the red ring of death. But also had insurance, so I mean, I got quite a few of them free. But man, good grief, I went through a lot of those too. So it's pretty crazy. You know what I'm saying? He says, thank you, brother. Thank you for saying, yeah, no, I appreciate it. I'm glad to be on here. I've been back here for I would say about maybe a week and a half or so. Getting back to it. I still got to get it together with me doing fight night on Sundays, man. I was going to do it the other night, but my daughter came through with her boyfriend, and then they stayed over, and then I'm like, okay, I'm ready to get to it. And then next thing you know, I'm sitting here watching sports highlights and everything, and then next thing you know, it's like 12 o'clock, and I'm like, God dang it, I said I was going to do this and never did. But got to get that right. But I will be doing some streaming tonight. So I don't know, it might be Virtual Fighter. I've been playing some Virtual Fighter, Revo. Of having a good time with that, or maybe some Mortal Kombat 1, because I've been trying to find Floyd. I've seen it. I had the little post. I really don't know how to get there, to how to get a chance to fight him yet. But I have seen to where like these little purple, his name will pop up. And I don't know if I need to hit something or what. So I don't know. I'll go into Reddit or somewhere and see if because I've seen more people play Floyd, but yeah, no. And it's been fun because Mortal Kombat 1 is actually playing a hell of a lot better than what it was. So it's good to go back and to jump on that. Of course, there's Street Fighter. Mai is coming around the corner here in about a week or so. Looking forward to that. And I always get my time in with Tekken, so. But yeah, there's so many other games that's dropping. I mean, the Game Pass just dropped. I think that game is called Eternal Strands. I was trying to download it. I was having an issue, so I probably got to put it on a different hard drive or whatever. And then there was the Ninja Gaiden game. I started that, but didn't get back on it. I haven't got back on it, so I want to jump back on that and play that all over again. So yeah, it looks great. I mean, there's just so much to play right now, and I want to get some stuff knocked out before Avowed drop, because I know once Avowed and then also Assassin's Creed Shadows drop, I'm locked in. So I'm back in heavy. So what's going on with you, Stanley? What's happening, brother? What's happening? So but yeah, he said, and Husky was like, I know I'm late. Did you watch the Phil interview with Gamertag and Dustin? No, I did not get to see that. I did read a quote that Phil said, and then I kind of was cracking up because it's always the when you go into certain places, they're very PlayStation heavy in there. So, it's always, well, the Xbox is doomed and this, that, and the third, and all of that. And it's pretty stupid to me because I think that they've been saying that Xbox has been dead for the last 20 plus years. Xbox isn't going anywhere, man. Xbox is not going anywhere. And I think, and even this whole this mindset of thinking that they're going to be third party only, I think is an asinine thought as well. So, I mean, I'm going to get into that, but I just wanted to address one more time before I do get into that, is about the Spider-Man thing, and hopefully that it will drop. I mean, Insomniac keeps saying that it will drop on the 30th, but if not, then it is what it is. But I don't know. For $60, I don't know, man. I don't know if I'm going to risk it all for those $60. I'll probably wait for it to drop down in price, but especially for knowing how long that the game is. I mean, Spider-Man 2018 or Spider-Man Remastered, and also Miles Morales. Miles Morales gave a little, what wasn't as big as Spider-Man, is the Spider-Man 2018. But if you ask it for that type of price for a game that's over a year old, nah, man, you gotta give me at least 30 plus. I need about 30 plus hours on that. You know what I'm saying? No, you know, for 60 for a game that's over a year, nah, bro. No, 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 no. I need 30 plus hours. I need 30 plus. That's what I'm talking about. That's I don't need, you know what I'm saying? If it's like people's beat Spider-Man, I think in a weekend in like 15, 12 hours, 30, 20 hours or something like that. Nah, bro, I need more than that. For 60, nah. 45, I'm cool with you. I got you. But nah, not for no 60 or 60 plus. But we'll see. Like I said, we'll find out. He says, "Are you playing the First Ascent?" I have not played the First Ascent in a minute, but I'm going to get back in it. I'm finna get me some more of those characters. I got there was I earned about 4 characters, and then I bought about 4 characters. So yeah, I have not played it since the new update. Just because of all different types of reasons. We've been busy, been doing other stuff, whatever. But yeah, no, I'm finna get back into the First Ascent. I know life, the First Ascent. I damn near got all the achievements for it. I think I need 2 more to have all the achievements in the First Ascent. So I love it. You said you got all the Descendants. Oh my goodness, didn't buy any. Damn, Big Mamo. That's putting in some time, brother. Because now I know that in the the patch that they did that it was going to make it easier, but I mean, man, you had to grind to get the characters that you had to get, man. Like so, that's the thing. I think I want the girl with that does the little dance, the dancing girl, and then I don't know. I know that there's. I'm going to get the black dude. Because I've been screaming like, man, come on, man, you gotta give me somebody in color up in this piece. And then I'm finna get probably because they know they got the sniper, but then they got another girl in there, and I don't know which one is which yet. So I'm gonna turn it back on and see what's all there. But I do know I want the girl that be dancing with the music thing, like because I thought she was cool just in her little sub thing of whatever when I was playing those and beating the story mode. So yeah, so I'm definitely gonna go back in there. What's going on with you, bro? What's going on with you, bro? What's happening with you? What's happening with you? You said the gameplay is he says what game he said Kiri said which gameplay are you showing us, by the way? Oh, this is this indie game. It's also on, I got it on Xbox when I brought it, and it was when I showed it off, it was so crazy how people was getting all bitchy and getting weird about it, like, oh, this is this and that. And I did laugh at the one when the dude said it was a Temu Stellar Blade, which it is. It's an indie game, right? But there was people getting offended and getting mad because I was showing this game, and they were like, you being disingenuous, you're not saying it because it's out on everything. I only seen this game on Xbox now, and I didn't say anything about it wasn't on PlayStation or it wasn't on PC. I just said that this was a game that I seen that's on Xbox that's play anywhere. That's it. And I just wanted to show some gameplay of it. That is it. But it is it's a play anywhere title. It's called Dishonor. It's got a little story to it. It's mostly everything that I played so far. It's all just set up in a mall. She's trying to gather her memories, and what's the crazy thing about it? Because at first I was like, yeah, the combat's a little limited, but the more you play, the more her skills get enhanced, and the game gets quicker, it gets faster, the bosses get stronger. It actually gets really, really good. The more that you play, it's not a Souls game by no stretch. It's one of those games that kind of like if you die, you got to start all over again. I forgot what those kind of games are called, but yeah, but it's not bad at all. And what's really cool is that like and this is what's kind of got like a Wukong type of vibe to it, is because of the fact that it's like when you go back. When you get beat and when you go back, you're like extra strong because you go back through the same enemies. And then you got all these enhancements because every time that you die, you meet this chick up in the mall and she gives you enhancements, and you got, for the reward points that you did and how far that you got. So, I mean, the game combat gets better and better and better. It's got really cool, it's got some cool animations to it. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, it's an indie game. It's not, and it's and I got it for $30. I like it. I thought it wasn't bad for $30. I mean, you know what I'm saying? So, and I support all different types of games. So I supported this one, and especially because, and where I looked at it as a game that maybe if it was just on Xbox only, I would probably say, it should be $20. But because it's a play anywhere, the $30, I was like, oh, I'm on it. Let's get it. And it's a hack and slash. So Oh, so you think so Ocular? You think this game looks like a little bit like Scarlet Nexus? Hey, I ain't gonna knock you on that. Scarlet Nexus, well, like graphically, had that shell shaded kind of look. But yeah, I mean, I guess you could look at that as well. I wasn't even thinking about Scarlet Nexus, which is a fabulous game. If you have not played Scarlet Nexus, please play it. I know it's good and cheap now, and it is well worth the play. Matter of fact, I need to go back and do another playthrough of that. I love that game. That game was so damn dope. I knew when I first seen it, I was like, oh, this is okay, mega, special. I'm on it. But that story got crazy. It was dope. It was really dope. And then the playing with two different protagonists, and then their fight styles are different. So, and I played with the female first, and so because I knew that I would like the guy, because when they had the demo, I played with his character first. But I was like, I don't want to play with the female. And then at first, she was annoying. I didn't like her character too much because she was too standoffish. She was an ass, and she was just being. Yeah, but then of course she changed over, and then got better, got more understanding, and then her combat skills were just crazy. Like I love Scarlet Nexus. Really good game. One of the best games that year that came out. I think that was the same year that Psychonauts 2. I thought that Psychonauts 2 was the game of the year. But I thought that Scarlet Nexus should have been a game that should have won something, action game of the year or something like that. I thought it was that good, but you said how's the title of the game spelled? Dishonor. It's dishonor. Yeah, it's a DIS honor. You know what I'm saying? ORDER. That's it. It's just dishonor. But they kind of have it a weird way how they split it. Like it's not split, but it's like it's got dis and then it's honor. And you'll see it when you just type dishonor and it'll be right there. And you'll see it right there on if you're looking through it on your Xbox, or if you're looking through it through PlayStation, or if you're looking through it for and this is the crazy thing, and this is the one thing that Xbox needs to change. Xbox needs to, when they get it together, because I'm not a fan of the Microsoft Store at all. I'm not a fan of it. I like the Xbox app, but I'm not a fan of the Xbox Store. But for anything that's Play Anywhere, you have to go to the Xbox Store. And you have to go to the Xbox Store and then download it from there. So if you want to if you're going through your PC and you're going to go through the Xbox Store, just go through there. So, and type it in. So yeah. No, not dishonor. So, I'm sorry. I said disorder, not dishonor, disorder. So let me be country. I was over here saying, I'm saying dishonor and whatnot. I'm saying disorder. So that's the name of the game, disorder. Yeah. So yeah, and the one thing too is it's crazy with the animation, with the look of the game, like the character, the female character, she got these big bug ass eyes. It's kind of crazy, but anyway, yeah, disorder. Yes, ma'am, that's it right there, Curie. Disorder. Richili said Microsoft is better in making Android iOS apps than Windows applications. I can agree with that. Yes, and it's disorder. That's what it is. Okay. All right. Enough of that. Let me talk about this whole situation with Xbox and the console war being dead. Of course, if you've been following me on my My Thoughts, I've been on this ever since I started my My Thoughts. Probably maybe about, I don't know, maybe about 5-6 months ago. That I've been saying, like, the console war it's over. Like, this whole thing of where the no red lines and all of that stuff, that I've been saying this, right? But now it's official. And like when I was talking, when Husky just asked that question, I did read the part where he was just thinking like he just doesn't want to put a red line against any of his games. So therefore, it's kind of apparent that Starfield will eventually go to PlayStation and maybe and also probably to the Switch at some point. So now this was my strategy last week, or I should say not strategy, but my thought process that put a little ease to this new standard for Xbox. And it's the fact of it being a timed exclusive, right? Like if you this to me is where it gives you the value of the console. See, and like when I was starting off before I switched on to something else, but when I was starting off, when I was saying I was reading these people bringing up that Xbox is dead and the console is not this, that, and the third, and that they say that shit all the time, and then for some stupid reason Xbox gamers say it, and I don't understand why. When you turn on your Xbox, nothing is broken, nothing is taken away from you, nothing, right? I get the thought of the exclusive, especially of how we known it, but nothing is taken away from us. Now, the thing that softens the blow for this move is the time exclusivity. If, for instance, if Starfield does not go to PlayStation until next year, we're looking at over 2 years, almost 3 years, right? I'm not tripping about that. I ain't gonna trip about that. We're talking about a game that's been out, people's played it, people showed gameplay, people's railed about it, all this and that and the third. Got all the DLCs, all of that, right? I'm not tripping out about that. What I would not like to see is the day and date, except for only games that's already been out day and date, like Outer Worlds, Doom, Call of Duty, those Minecraft, those things make sense. Those things make sense to me. But if like you got this E-Day that's coming out pretty soon, or Fable, or even like what's the situation with Indiana Jones, in which I think that situation is a little bit different because Disney owned that property. It's just that it's a Xbox Microsoft public studio that's made it. Disney still probably would say like, look, man, we're gonna have to do this, and you can have a 6-month exclusivity. That's it, whatever, right? That's a whole different animal. But with Xbox first party, that's like, to me, it's like if you put Halo or E-Day first thing on PlayStation day and date, like that does make it feel like, damn, you know what I mean? Like you can let these people wait. You know, I mean, that's the thing right there that I think that lessens the blow. If it's more time away, so like if a year or more, I say 2 years for the bigger titles. For like something like Fable, 2 years, make them wait. Starfield, 2 years, cool, let them wait. You go further than that, then I'm damn sure not tripping. It's just the fact of like what happened with Indiana Jones is what that put a bad taste in my mouth, because you didn't give Xbox gamers a chance to even be excited about that. You know, I've been saying this kind of almost every show, almost every stream when I've talked about this, is that like it really put a bad taste in my mouth to where I didn't even watch any more Gamescom. I got pissed off and I was like, I'm done. That's stupid. Why get everybody excited for this game and then right here within a month and a half, you're already letting people know before this game drops on Xbox that it's coming to PlayStation? Because you could have at that point had people go ahead and buy an Xbox, because there was going to be people that would have bought an Xbox for Indiana Jones. So that when people make that argument about the devaluing of an Xbox, I get that understanding, but in all retrospect, it's not devaluing anything. It's just just a talk of just fanboy console war. I mean, it's not, and it's the same thing that's going when PlayStation does the same thing. I'm letting you guys know, and I've said this, and you can record me right now. Take a clip. I'll let you guys take a clip. I'll let you guys take a clip of me saying this. PlayStation will do the same thing. Don't get it twisted. PlayStation will do it. They will follow behind Microsoft, and the word exclusivity is going to be something completely different because things is going to be timed. PlayStation will just do the time thing. They ain't going to be. They'll go ahead and do day and date on certain things, but they will do the time thing. It's the era of the exclusive is only going to belong to Nintendo until Nintendo puts games on PC, and that will happen too. You know, somebody can come to me in 5 months and say, where's the games at, Mega? But it doesn't work like that. It never did when I tried to tell people about PlayStation going to put games on PC. It took how many years? but it did eventually happen. It just that it's just what is happening. It's just what it is. Xbox is just doing it first, but saying it is devaluing the Xbox, to only to say that, yeah, just to say that it's devaluing the Xbox is just ridiculous to me. It's not. It's not. My Xbox cuts on. I get games. I have so many games on my Xbox that I could play. It's not I'm fine. I don't have any, nothing to trip out about. Now again, I know this will be a thing as well, is when these Xbox games do eventually go over to PlayStation, and people are having it on the PlayStation Pro, they will use that as console war fodder of how it's better played over there. But see, that's why I got me a gaming PC. And so that's why when Play Anywhere, you can't tell me shit about nothing. You can't tell me nothing about plays better over there. Nah, bruh. Nah. The true definitive edition is what's cooking on my PC. And then eventually, when Xbox come out with a new console, it will be the definitive. If you don't have a high end PC that dog walks anything that PlayStation 6 or Xbox, whatever the new Xbox is going to be, at that point, if you don't have a 40 series or a 90 series, you got it. Because I think that that's the gist of it. That's what's going on. So I don't know. I just don't know. I just feel like people keep over dwelling on it. In my opinion. What's going on with you, TG Gamer? He said even a Fallout 4, which has been is being rumored. Yeah, there's Husky said we've been accustomed and brainwashed by these companies that I should be wearing my glasses. Man, damn, this is small. Let me get my old man on. Oh man, I need to clean my face. He says we've been accustomed and brainwashed by the companies that exclusives are the end all be all. If you don't have exclusive, you don't have nothing. Well, PlayStation don't have nothing. Xbox hasn't had nothing then. You know what I'm saying? Nintendo was the only one to have something. And really, let's just be honest with that. All of us that are real gamers, we love everything. We love games from every one of these consoles. But Nintendo was always, and probably mostly, except for the people that buy the Nintendo, that lives on Nintendo consoles. But mostly everybody else that are fans of more of Xbox, PC, and PlayStation, look at the Nintendo as a side piece. I mean, Nintendo is not going to be the dominant. It's going to be dominant in the console space, which is fine. But it's not. And we love games from Nintendo, but Nintendo just never ever felt like it did when the NES or the Super NES was around. I mean, you can kind of look at what happened with because look, the Wii was the best selling console in that gen. Nobody talks about the Wii like that. Nobody except for maybe Nintendo fans. Everybody talked about the 360 and the PlayStation 3, and the 360 was the darling of that generation. Seriously. So I mean, that's where we're at. And I don't think that anybody should like you said, Husky, we have been accustomed to this whole thought because that's how PlayStation has played the game. That's how Nintendo's played it. That's how Sega has played it. And Xbox has done the same thing. Phil Spencer has been saying this for a long time, that he's been wanting to get out of this console war space. And all you see, and now you're starting to see people that, and even though I always wondered what it felt like once the console war was really going to be over with, because it's never really going to be over. There's going to still be people talking shit. I know I'm still going to do my thing. But I mean, it's more the thing of, but I've always been honest about if Xbox does something stupid, I'd say that they do. And I damn sure will rail against PlayStation and Nintendo if they do something ridiculous. But it's the thing, in PC as well. But the thing to me is more like, I always wondered what it would feel like once it was kind of like when the dust settled and we aren't really talking about, well, a game like Yakuza or a game like, let's see, Phantom Blade not coming to Xbox. That's once that's over with and done, like what does that do to the whole to the whole content creator gaming space, right? Like it's got, the reality of it is that there's going to be people falling by the wayside because there's going to be a lot of people that's lived off of nothing but the console war and didn't never really talk about the meat and potatoes of the game. That's where it's going to start sliding to, and that's what Phil and them want, right? Like, and I mean, once you see now people that, you know, like Tim Dog, I seen him talking about that he was going to change back, you know, not participating in the console. Well, you can't, because you see the realities of it. Like, it was the thing that pissed you off so much that you and Crap and others wanted to get on out of there, and Mucha wanted to get on out of there, and Next Gen, all the rest of BGST except for I would say Post Up, me, I don't know. Was Post Up ever part of BGST? That part I don't know. I know, you know, Showstopper, but I would say Showstopper, me, Xbox. Even Xbox kind of leaned back and forth, but Xbox still remained an Xbox. But the thing to me is more the thing of like, if I enjoy where I'm playing my games at, why would it matter where the other games are? I know that for many years I've sit there and like Husky said, I've been accustomed to that. We all have, right? But then when you really look at the reality of something, like, damn, does it really matter as long as I'm getting some kind of perk? That's the thing. Are we as Xbox gamers getting a better advantage for this move that Xbox is doing? And the answer is yes. It was just like I said last week. Xbox gamers are spoiled. We are very spoiled. But yet we still complain and bitch like we don't get enough. And it's crazy. Like at one time, yes, in the beginning of this gen, 2022, we were seeing the fruits of the labor, right? We were seeing the growth. We were seeing all the positive steps to where Xbox was going. And then, of course, the pandemic hit. And then it kind of shook up everything. But when you get to the nitty gritty of it right now, Xbox has provided way more than we ever could have imagined. From games like what you're seeing in this background, those games would never come to Xbox last gen. That's what always brings me back to saying, let's just pump the brakes, ladies and gentlemen. Let's relax. Let's just chill for a minute. Let's just sit back and just kind of see how this all plays out. Instead of just kind of getting our pitchforks and torches ready and getting on out there and demanding people get fired or, this, that, and the third. Let's just see how this plays out. Because when you really think about it, the perks that we do get with Game Pass, right? Like, and it's the thing, the things that bother PlayStation stands and certain people in the media and so forth is Game Pass. And things like Play Anywhere and Xbox innovation to push. That's what they can't stand Game Pass because they want Game Pass. They can't stand Play Anywhere because they want Play Anywhere. They couldn't stand Snap Feature. They couldn't stand Connect because they wanted them. Even though PlayStation provided them with the iToy and the camera, it wasn't as good as what the Connect provided. Anything that the stands railed on heavily, they wanted it for themselves. Because, I mean, you would think that they would rail up against some of the features that's in the PlayStation 5 that was on the Xbox One, right? But again, they don't. They never did. They never do. So again, when they sit there and now the only time that I ever seen that what a move that Xbox did, that they really started to bring their pitchforks when games were starting to go over to PC and, all that, right? And then the live service thing. Those are the only two things that I could see. Everything else, they comply they comply like they're being told what to do. Sony said they don't give a damn. So and it's like I said, hey, there's too many people at Xbox, especially with Xbox content creators, they're too iffy. Either you're all in or you're all out. Like, there's no need to, like, again, we talk about our frustrations and Xbox listens, right? These people listen to us. But there's sometimes that we got to sit here and we got to step back and we like, look, they see this business model, they see something's going on. Look at all these these layoffs. Look at all these studios closing. Something is happening, and there's going to be more craziness that's going to be approaching us in the gaming space here coming forward, especially if this president gonna go ahead and try to put tariffs on semiconductors. Do you not know how much it's going to be? Game Pass is going to thrive. Those gaming services is going to thrive because of the fact that people are, if you hope to God that people can get a Switch before, if this happens, like, listen, he says it. So far, the stuff that he's been saying is he's been doing it. If he does it, let's hope that by the time the Switch comes out, that it's not affected. And hopefully the stuff that happens will happen towards sometime at the end of the year or next year, because prices is going to go crazy high. And not only just with consoles, but we're talking about TV, cell phones, everything that has a chip in it is going to cost a lot of money. So that's the thing right there that has that we should be more concerned about than all this other crazy stuff, right? So again, games is, you know what I'm saying, and Xbox is already ahead of the game. They've been had Game Pass for years. They're going to beg PlayStation to up their game, up their ante on providing a little bit more than the older games that they've been doing, or at least have PlayStation first party titles that drop to, hey, let's show us some port. Like, I mean, we ain't trying to pay $80 to $100 for a video game, especially if it's digital, right? So how about you let us get a gaming service that's somewhat comparable to what Game Pass does? And if Sony don't comply, what do you think that's going to happen? What do you think is going to happen? They're going to have to make the move a lot sooner than what they probably didn't want to, of where games is going to have to be put everywhere else. I know that there might be people saying, "Oh, Becky, you speculating, brother? This, man, we got to look at and see what's happening around us." So again, like I said, Xbox gamers has been spoiled, but let's just see what Xbox is going to do with this. I'm not saying that you should like it, because I still don't like the move, but I have to respect it for the fact that I'm not sitting at the table making recommendations. I'm sitting here at this desk just giving my thoughts about it. I don't see what these numbers are. There, or the third. I don't know. I know that they're making money hand over fist, but they do have a lot of money to try to recruit. That's $79 billion is not chump change. So let's just see. Let me read some of these comments here, man. Appreciate you guys coming on through. Remember, if you are new to the channel, man, hit that subscribe button, the like button. I would really appreciate it, or the dislike button if you don't like what I'm saying. I really would appreciate your feedback. Let's see here. Man, hold on. I'm just gonna blow this up. No, I can't. Let's see. TJ said, what do you think about people getting hyped about the Switch to possibly get Halo Gears and Fallout 4? Man, look, I don't like it. This is our reality right now, man. This is Xbox's reality, right, bro? We just gotta have to see how this looks, because this is the one thing. And I'm not a numbers guy. I don't care about it. I'll show the numbers just for the fact of just showing it, right? For shits and giggles. But in honesty, if it benefits Xbox to bring more games that we got coming on here on Game Pass, and on more money for these studios to make more stuff. Like, I mean, the whole cool thing about what we've seen with the collaboration with Platinum Games and Tecmo, like, bro, that was Phil Spencer's idea. So again, he listened to us. We've been asking for a Ninja Gaiden. We heard those rumors for a long time. He went there and he seen that the proper people was gone or leaving that was at Platinum Games, that were the cancers, and said, look, man, how about you guys collaborate and let's make something. And then, of course, you know what I'm saying? Xbox sit there and funded the money. And look, now everybody is on this Ninja Gaiden kick. Even for people that, and it's crazy. I read something from somebody that it was very, 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 because a lot of this happened to me in a 360 era. You know, I'm working. I got kids. I got to put in my time. I got keep roof and take care of kids. Get football practice and pageant stuff for my daughter, and then for stuff with you know what I'm saying with the relationship that I was in, their kids, and doing all that other stuff and everything. You know, keep them closed. All that. Listen, I had to work. I had to work. Like, you know what I'm saying? Put in mad hours. And so I gained, of course, but I didn't gain like I gain now because now my kids are grown. But the fact of it is that I missed out on a lot of great games that maybe I bought and maybe put a little bit of time in, but then I seen there was another game coming, and then I'm like, oh man, I got to get this game. So I had traded it in, and I've ran into that a many times. That's why I always go back to older stuff, and I never ever complain about, like, if somebody say, oh man, you playing that old game? Yeah, I'm playing that old ass game. Yeah, it might be 10 years old. So what? It still works, still plays. So why can't I enjoy it? I played it, and maybe it's a game that I played and beat 3 or 4 times. And I think it's one of those games that I love that I can go back and I can keep playing, like The Witcher 3 or Mass Effect or something like that, right? Like, but again, that's when you see people that's bringing up this stuff about like they worked a lot and they remember playing Ninja Gaiden, but they didn't have the time. And then now they're playing it now, and then all the nostalgia and the excitement, and now they're really excited for Ninja Gaiden 4, and then they're going to go back and go try to buy Ninja Gaiden Black and buy Ninja Gaiden 3, and like that's what it's all about right there. And that's the thing that I try to remind gamers is that, yeah, I don't like this strategy of what's going on here, TJ. But the thing of it is that if that result is bringing me more games like that, just think, for instance, let's just put this in perspective. Let's say that, and I know that developer said that he probably won't be working on another Lost Odyssey game or whatever. I think he's kind of been off and on about it, like, but whatever. But if this move that Xbox does, and they generate enough money to sit there and give him enough of the bag to convince him to say, look, we want you to make the biggest and best last game ever. Because I think he's going to work on a Final Fantasy game too, or whatever. I think that's something that's what I read or something like that. Whatever. But let's just say that they gave the guy the bag for a Lost Odyssey 2. And they also did a Lost Odyssey remake, or some to the, saying, or something to the effect of like what they did with Ninja Gaiden Black, and put Unreal Engine 5 behind it. Bro, do you not understand how great that would be for not only for gamers, and then of course just for the nostalgia and for the greatness of that game to come back. You know what I mean? Like, so again, if there's a trade-off to where there's great classics and new games that we can feast on, that's going to be in Game Pass. That's going to be Play Anywhere. That's going to be being pushed on Xbox hardware, which means that these studios is going to implement to make sure that these games run and perform better. Other than people saying what's going to happen on the PlayStation Pro. I mean, the PlayStation Pro is at some points better, sometimes even, sometimes not. But regardless, I think that that's a good trade-off. I don't know. You got to let me know what you think about that, though. TJ, again, he said, K Mega, what do you think about people getting about this? Oh, yeah, no. Oh, that's what we just said that. Ocular fan, Xbox new console is next holiday 2026. Yeah, I think that's about right. I think that's about right. Curie, she says, ooh, all right, wish list update. She said, left this order in my cart too, because I just have some unexpected money. Maybe I'll spend slightly less on gacha games and pick this up. Kinda jonesing for something like this order. All right then, that'd be great. That'd be great. That'd be great. That'd be great. And Big Bad Mo, you said it right there. Game Pass is the exclusive. That see, like, there is nothing like Game Pass. I like Ubisoft stuff because I'm a Ubisoft fan. I like EA stuff now since EA is now starting to bring more heat. I like the games as a service. I think more should do it. I think just think if Capcom did it. Just think if Namco did it. I mean, because Namco is killing it right now. I think Namco and Capcom is killing it right now. So, or just think, for instance, like right now, I'm trying to think who was yeah, it's Koei Tecmo. Listen, if Koei Tecmo had a game service, man, with all the hot games if they've had in the last few years, they've been killing it too. Like, so I think that there was rumors that there would be more, but I think if all this stuff comes to head to where there's stuff that's going to be costing more, and where these crazy ass analysts and people out there that's trying to talk these publishers to be stupid enough to try to follow behind Take-Two, because Take-Two has one of the biggest, if not the biggest game out there in Grand Theft Auto, by trying to charge $80 to $100 for games. It's over, Jack. Ain't nobody going to sit there and buy those games like that. They'll wait or they ain't buying. And then what's that going to do? That, I mean, it's then it goes to what the console is going to provide that is going to make that person want to purchase that high price ass console. You know what I mean? Like, it just don't make any sense. So, and this ain't going to just affect just consoles. This is going to affect PC and everything else. So again, like, I don't know, man. This is really crazy stuff. I hope to God that this doesn't happen, because it really would be bad for the industry. And if there are greedy ass people out there that want gamers to spend more money on standard games that you got to keep delaying because you're trying to rush these games out and things like that. Nah, man, it ain't happening. It ain't gonna happen. Not over here. It's not gonna happen. I still yet to this day have not paid for a $70 game, and I want a standard game, I should say. I refuse to. I refuse to. The way that some of these games come out and they don't and you gotta wait for patches for these games to work well and to be, nah, man, ain't no way. I'll wait. So I ain't got no problem with waiting now. I used to not. I used to couldn't. You had to have it right now. Now I kind of jonesing for that Spider-Man 2, but other than that, I can wait. If that Spider-Man 2, like I said, that Spider-Man 2 is too much. I ain't gonna do it. So anyway, let's see. JT Gamer says, can make it look like Nintendo is going to is going more mature looking with a new Nintendo Switch. I mean, Nintendo is still having Nintendo has mature games. Nintendo, this premise of thinking that Nintendo is just all kiddie because of just what they present to you. You go into deep in their catalog, they have some pretty adult games. They got a lot of those games that PlayStation don't even grab. So yeah, no, when you add those third parties and things like that to it now with PlayStation or with all these games, but yeah, Nintendo is going to thrive. They're going to thrive. If this console is going to be $400, that thing is going to eat. I mean, I can't wait to get it for $400. That's going to be a really good price for that. So yeah, no, it will do well, and I think that it's smart for them to not go all crazy. Like when I was reading that article to you guys where they were wanting Nintendo to be more innovative. Why? The innovation is the power within the system. It's going to have better online. It's going to have you're going to have more response into your controllers and everything else. So like it is more innovation into it. And on top of that, Nintendo's going to do something else that's going to enhance the Switch too. So I just think that I'm too much complaining about. Husky, he said, Yushidoa. Okay, yeah, whatever. I can't say his name. Let me be country. He says he was just saying that he needs to buy those remakes to help fund 3 AAA games. He says when I believe if they would start putting their games on PC sooner, it would help bring in more of those funds. You could be right. You could be right, and that's the thing right there. And this was from the director of Moon Studios that information dropped today, where he's saying that PlayStation is gonna start being is gonna lose their exclusives too. It's, it, it's just what I've been saying. It's just like what everybody else is saying in this industry. Things has got to change. The whole trajectory of how things have been is over. Get over it. Get over it. Like Sony is trying so hard to try to keep this old standard, and they are losing. This is a horrible generation for them. Horrible. It is absolutely dog shit. Trash. We're talking. These guys brag about games that aren't first party exclusives because they ain't had that many. Like, yeah, it was great and smart for them to go ahead and yes, and lock down the Final Fantasies, but the people aren't buying them. They're just not buying them in the way that they were. And this is what's funny to me is that instead of staying and looking in their own backyard and saying, look, man, why are we not buying games on the clip like we were on the PlayStation 4? We understand that there's not as many PlayStation 5s as there is PlayStation 4s out there in the wild, but still, you've got 60 plus million consoles. You still should be somewhere comparable of where Final Fantasy remake sold, or to what Final Fantasy 15 did with that many people owning those many consoles. So I just, what I'm saying, like, I mean, but you're talking about PC sales. Don't worry about PC sales. Don't worry about Xbox sales. You worry about your own sales because your sales are down. I can understand if y'all over here making record sales on all of your first party, but you're not. Because most of these people aren't buying these games. For some reason, they're not resonating like they used to. And I think a lot of it is because of that extra $10. People, man, listen, people can do other things with that $10. So I know some people's like, oh, maybe you bugging. Nah, bro, it's just what it is. Ever since that they started raising the price of these games, gaming itself, except for the big titles that are always in the top 20, except for a few exceptions, are always the same games because consumers are looking at it like, man, I'm just gonna stay. Hey, I did look at this game. This game looked interesting, but man, I'm gonna wait till it drops in price. And look, Sony wants to be petty and wants to hold on and say, look, you'll eventually go. No, man, no, you're gonna have to spend that money. They're gonna have to bend. They're gonna have to break. They're gonna have to bend or they'll break. That's just what's gonna happen. Let's see. Big Memo said, is this PlayStation's best generation yet? Stop it. Don't be messy. Free Chili said, the problem is that they keep releasing engaging characters. I'm saying, oh, that must be something where y'all have a conversation about. Big Memo says, got to remember 25% of them, millions, ain't even been turned on. Right, bro. Yeah, I mean, I get that. I know those scalpers pick those up like crazy and charge those ridiculous numbers, and they're sitting in places and things like that. Yeah, no, that's a problem, and that's something that both companies needs to be looking at and trying to address going forward when they do their pre-orders. So they can have some kind of guardrails against these scalpers, man, because that's really crazy. So anyway, yeah, no, I just wanted to just make my point on that issue about what was going on with the exclusives. I think that let's just wait and see how this plays out. I like I said, if Xbox makes the right move by not doing it like day and date on all of these games, because that's where the sting I think is going to happen for most gamers. Not for every game. Like I said, Doom is already been on everything. Outer Worlds has already been on everything. Other titles, Minecraft, things like that. But when you're talking about a game like Halo, Gears, Fable, Forza, stuff like that, Man, come on. Now, and I still don't believe Forza 5. I've said that a million times too. I don't think that that'll be the game. If it's Forza Motorsport, I can see that. But I mean, the Forza Motorsport has only been out for what, like, yeah, for about a little bit over a year now. Or did it come out last year? Hell, I can't remember. It came out this year, or it came out last year, or it came out the year before. So it's been I think it's been over a year for Forza Motorsport. But 2 years, I ain't gonna trip out. I ain't gonna trip out. 2 years or more, I'm not gonna trip out. 6 months, I'm gonna kind of frown. Day and date though, I will be like, Now, something like the Master Chief Collection. Master Chief Collection is 10 years old. So I'm not 11 years old now. So I think it came out, what, in 2014, something like that. So yeah, no, no, I'm not tripping. 2014, 2015. So it's 11, it's 10 or 11 years old. I'm not gonna trip. Just like Sea of Thieves. Sea of Thieves has been out for 7, 8 years, and I'm not tripping about that. High Five Rush, I did have a problem with that. But even though that was a year, Pendament was like 6 months, and of course that didn't do well over there. Grounded was a year or two or something like that. So yeah, if it, anything after, for the big stuff, 2 years, 2 years is fine. I think most likely it might be a year. But we'll see. We'll see. I don't know. This is a weird thing just to say if those games going over there to PlayStation. But again, it's going to eventually happen to where Xbox is going to get those games. It's just going to be a while, because PlayStation is going to try to hold on to this old way, and it is not going to work for them. It's just not. So I don't know. JT Gamer said Nintendo is still at 60 and getting their games sold. So I think K Mega is making a good point. Yeah, no, like that's the thing. Like 60 is the price. It has been the price. You keep raising these game prices, and listen, Nintendo is going to raise those prices to 7. They're going to raise those prices to 7. They are. That's just because it's the standard. Because it's the standard. We'll see how that looks. We'll see how that looks, because Nintendo does have the more loyal, dedicated base than out of Xbox or PlayStation by a mile. But if they start slacking off, then that is going to be a problem throughout the industry. That should be the indicator right there to the industry is back the hell up and chill, and do not dare raise any more prices on these games. Do not do it. Do not do it. Because if you do it without any type of safety net, you're gonna cripple the industry. You're gonna cripple it because of greed. And I understand that. Listen, I know, like I've talked to some devs and stuff like that in the past and things of that nature, and I understand the costs and all the stuff that has to go into it. But again, when you're talking to somebody who's over here rolling around in a 2014 Corolla, and then when you're talking to a dev that's rolling and talking about that we need more costs, and they're rolling in a Mercedes, and they're rolling in a 2022 Mercedes, it isn't. The smell test doesn't work. You see what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't diminish the work that these developers do. But it does diminish the fact that when you're telling somebody that's over here that's buying your game at $70, that's buying your game now at $70, right? And then you're sitting here and looking like you're in a better living position than your customers are, and still saying that you want more money, it's not a good look, man. It's just not. And I get it. Like, gamers have asked and demanded more, so I understand all this. But remember, they told us that AI and all of it, and Unreal Engine 5, because of the tools that's all in here, it's supposed to be making things cheaper and more efficient and much more easier, to where these games are going to be cheaper to make. So if you have these analysts come and tell us that these games are going to cost more, after you told us, because people do not forget, some people do, a lot of people do actually, But some people do not. And they will replay all that, and then what you have is a shitstorm. And you're going to have gamers who do trust and believe into the game industry and just want to be entertained will start looking at the game industry different, all because of greed. Now that's one thing that me and Fonzarelli go back and forth about like, you know, the 30 frames per second and about like $60 games, and he thinks the game should be cheaper than that, and I don't agree. We go back and forth, but I don't agree with that. $60 games is $60 for a standard game, I think is absolutely fine. But I have to agree with Fonz, if they start raising prices even more, then now it is nothing but greed. I mean, because when we look at these games, right, like, yes, there's a lot of these games that's looking incredible, right? But then it should be also by how this new word that's in the gaming industry is, it should be by case basis. It shouldn't be a game like, okay, you got a game like Final Fantasy Rebirth, $60, $70, okay. The hours that you put into those games, the work that's put into those games, totally, I get it. I'm not going to shun anybody who paid $70 for a standard version of Final Fantasy. I just got a bad. I just don't do it. But I find a way around it, I should say. Basically, like use my rewards or wait for a sale, something like that. Or just find it on PC for cheap, something like that. But for anybody else that does that, I'm not tripping about that. But then if you're talking about, okay, well, we're gonna reduce the time to Final Fantasy to 30 hours, but yeah, we want you to pay 80. But yeah, it's going to look fantastic and it's going to play fantastic and the story is going to be compelling. And then, you know, you get all hyped for it. And then when you put it in and then the game crashes on you, or the performance is not good, then you're making the studio that's made that game, that's been rushed by the publisher, look bad. Because if they need more time to bake the game, if they need more time to cook it, then what? Then let them cook it. But no, you want this money, you got to impress your investors. That ain't gonna fly with the public, man. And that's where I think that we're at right now, where gamers and casual gamers are looking at all this and saying, yo, I want all this. But man, you can't keep asking me for more. You can't keep hemorrhaging me more because everything else is more. You know what I mean? Like, you know, food, you know, mortgage, rent, everything else is more. So, and you're asking for more too? No, man, you're just supposed to be entertainment. Movies is more. Nah, hell no. You know what I'm saying? Something's got to give. So that's my whole thought on that. I just think it's just too much. So Grand Theft Auto can make that move. You know what I'm saying? Grand Theft Auto can make that move. But not somebody like, I'm trying to think. Okay, so like for instance, if Ubisoft came out with the Division 3, how many people in this chat's going to pay $70, $80 for that? I mean, for $80 for the Division 3. Not going to be that many. I love the Division. I think the Division is absolutely god tier co-op game. And you'll get a lot of hours into it, a lot of time into it. But again, this is where the thing is. What are you going to give me for that $80? Because you're already going to ask me for microtransactions. You're already going to have me with some crazy, stupid season pass on top of that. And then on top of that, then you want, you know what I'm saying, and if since I love the Division, I would get the shut up edition. You know what I'm saying? I would get the ultimate edition, and then but you're still asking me for more. But now you're asking the people that wants to really play your game and wants to be a part of it, you're asking them to pay 80 and they don't get nothing extra? Bro, you're asking too much. You're asking too much. Let me read some of this. Richili said, K-Maggie said, Xbox doesn't have a choice. If they release a game, they could exclude it from the PlayStation platform. The media and the PlayStation 5 fanboy will do everything to destroy the game. They have to keep the Xbox bad stigma. You know what? That's a great point. That's a fantastic point. You know what? That is a great point. But see, this is where Xbox has got to grow some balls. That's where Xbox has to grow the balls. Because listen, let's just be real here. I said this last week. More and more of these more known media I don't want to call them celebrities, but they're they're known. They're going out and doing shit on their own. They're breaking away from the gaming media themselves. They're breaking away. They're becoming content creators. There's some that staying there because they're grandfathered in, and then this is where they are. They're not going to get messed with, and they know where their toast is buttered, and that's it. But for others, they're like, bro, this is getting ridiculous. So yeah, you're right. The media will talk. Why is this not on PlayStation yet? Why I'm waiting for this? I'm waiting for the better version and all that. It just happened when I read something last week where which was disgusting with that smut that dude wrote about. He's not gonna buy Indiana Jones on Xbox because of whatever I forgot what it was. It was just something stupid that was said. So again, yeah, you're right. You'll get those really ignorant, dumb opinion pieces, and then the media will ask these stupid ass questions. Or why it's not on PlayStation? Is Xbox is changing their mind so they can still kind of play into the whole console war, but then sit up on that high horse and still act like that they're above the fray. You're right. And the PlayStation fanboy is absolutely irrelevant. Let them beg. Let them beg. See, again, this is where Xbox got to get balls. Like, listen, we have to take care of our own first. And if you delay those games for a year or two, that lets you know that Xbox gamers come first to them. You do day and date on every game, then that will diminish. I should say not the credibility. I mean, not credibility, but it will not diminish the console, but it will diminish the loyalty, the fan base loyalty to some, maybe a lot. You do all those games day and day. That makes Xbox gamers feel like, well, damn. And I understand. Game Pass, Play Anywhere, all that is the exclusive. But for a game like Halo and Gears and Fable and you got Perfect Dark coming up here, and Elder Scrolls. Listen, Sony didn't buy those games. Let Sony fans wait. If they, what I'm saying, what they say to us, what do PlayStation stands say to us? Buy a PlayStation. Or buy a PC. That's what they say. That's where I said, I ain't gonna trip out if Xbox does that to where they hold a Halo or E-Day for a year or more. I say 2 because I'm petty like that, but a year or more, I've sunk my teeth into it. I'm cool. All right, pass it on to the Nintendo and PlayStation peasants, and let us get to cooking them. We've been on this game for a year now. We've been enjoying ourselves on these first party titles, and now you got your chance to come in here and experience it. We ain't gonna be jackasses and spoil the game for you like those PlayStation people have done for previous games that's come over. But when you jump online, the weenie roast is beginning. Pause. The cooking begins. We're gonna tear y'all's asses up. So, and that's what it's about. So so the media coming out here and the PlayStation stand getting out there and whining and crying and talking about the game is this and that, and then they give these scores. Who cares? Who cares? That's where that's still the console war aspect that, like Husky said earlier, that we're conditioned to. Xbox is trying to get away from all of that. It shouldn't be about a goddamn score. It should be about how good is this game? How fun is this game? I guarantee you, if they brought Ninja Gaiden Kaiba or Yaiba, was it Yaiba? I think that's how you said it. If they brought that back in some capacity, if that game got undelisted and people could play that game now, that game would have a higher rating now than what it did back then. The camera angles was crazy. That combat is sick. And it was a fun, crazy, wild game. Like, you know what I'm saying? He was man, the game was dope. Like, so again, who cares about ratings? That's one thing that don't ever bother me. Like, if they could have gave Indiana Jones a 2. Really? Okay. I'm gonna enjoy this. You gonna sit there and let these people hit there and tell you this game is garbage because there's other people that you don't know that's telling you that game is trash? Okay, cool, whatever. I don't care. I'm playing this game and I'm enjoying it. So I'm not worried about it. But Richie, you're absolutely right. That will be a thing, and that's why I say Xbox got to get some balls. No. We are putting our Xbox gamers first. There's plenty of games that we are bringing to PlayStation and Nintendo and PC fans day one. Well, PC is going to get it day one, so never mind that. But never, so scratch out PC. But no, if you want day one, buy an Xbox or go to those $10,000, $5,000 PCs y'all have been bragging about, or go ahead and buy one or learn how to build one. Just that simple. Just that simple. I hope that Xbox does that, but Richilli, that was a really great point. Let's see. Curie said, secret to Nintendo budgets are much smaller, but admittedly their budgets are going up. Right, like everything is going up. Like, I mean, we understand that, right? Like when I say, I get when you have a game that's on the scale of what you're seeing here with the Final Fantasy remakes or something of that nature. But it also goes to the point of what I said on GRG, is that new games should never be $70. I don't care how big or how small it is. It should never be $70. If the game is a bigger title that's a first game entry, it should be $60 or less. That's the only way that you're going to get anybody's attention. If you said you come out there with this new game, it might have a cool cover on the box, but if that game shows it, I don't know, it just doesn't resonate. $70 for some reason. I don't know. People in the chat, you got to see if it hits you the same way it hits me. When I see $70, that seems way closer to $7, and it is closer to $100 than 60. But it just doesn't feel like, it feels like, damn man, this game's almost $100. But when the game is 60, I don't even see it that way. That $10 make a big difference. So I mean, Nintendo, Nintendo is Nintendo. But again, I was proven wrong. Nintendo came out. They're coming out here and they're giving a fan service by letting gamers who played on the original Switch have those games to keep their library, to build a library. I think that they kind of understand that is the new standard. Gamers want to have their old library to where they can build so they can stay in-house. Which that was smart. I did not think that they would do that. And then secondly, and you might still have to pay a fee or whatever. We'll see about that. But an affordable price, $400 to $500, bro. Like, yeah, no, that Nintendo surprised the hell out of me with that. They did. But I kind of thought it would be around $400 or $500. But doing the thing where they put in the games where you can play your old games, I thought that was genius. That was smart. People want to play their older games, even though that there are some out there that try to tell you that it doesn't matter, but it really does. But yeah, new games, $60 or less. There should be no sequels. If they want to pull that $70, okay, we're used to seeing it, but new IPs, I just think it's too risky. Now, okay, look at this game that's coming up here called Crimson Desert. I mean, that looks outstanding, right? Just think if that game is $60. That game's gonna fly off the shelves. That game should fly off the shelves. But $70 is a tall ask. You know what I mean? So I don't know, man. We'll see. So I mean, if you think about like the success of games that stayed at $60 or less or somewhere around it, I mean, look at like Helldivers 2 and how well it sold on PC. I mean, I don't know. But Grand Theft Auto, if they went ahead and said $80, everybody knows what Grand Theft Auto is. Everybody knows what the quality. They are part of the. They bring a standard that others do. I mean, if like Naughty Dog brought out, if Interstellar was 80, I mean that's a new IP. I would still say it should be 60. But if they, it's Naughty Dog. If they said, okay, look, man, this game is going to have this and that, and it's 80, I'm not going to knock them for it. But I'm just saying, like, okay, but if this game isn't held up to the same standard as what they did with The Last of Us, then again, they're tarnishing themselves because they're being greedy for that extra 20, or for the extra, pretty much $10. So that's what I'm saying. Like, it's a slippery slope. If it's a case by case basis, it just makes sense. See, like when I'm looking at, and it seems like Xbox is kind of finding understanding that trend, because if you looked and seen how much South of Midnight costs, it's only $50. You looked at what Hellblade 2 was, how much Hellblade 2 was, perfect price. Nobody can complain about that. There was some that tried to, but I don't know why. South by Midnight, perfect price. And then like Avowed is, I think, is going to be what, $70 or $60? It's going to be $70, I think. Well, that's going to be a bigger title. Still think that it should be 60 for a new title. Well, it's not a new IP. It's from the Pillars of Eternity or whatever. But still, So maybe that would be their whole point about it. But I mean, like, it just, to me, is like case by case basis. Case by case basis. So they're talking to each other about that. So that's what I'm going to get into right now. But but let's just give Xbox a chance on the situation with that. Let me go on and move on and talk about the NVIDIA thing, which was nutty. This whole Deepseek thing. That it was very nutty, very, very nutty. Listen, I remember seeing Deepseek, but I never really, wasn't paying attention to it to that degree. I just was kind of like, yeah, okay, whatever, but bro, to be putting the video into where they've lost over $500 billion. Can we put that in perspective? Nobody on here can, right? Like, nobody can. But that is so much money that just got lost. And it also comes to a point of just saying, like, okay, so, well, first off, for the people, anybody that didn't know, okay, so there is DeepSeek is a Chinese AI, and it's a Chinese AI product or whatever, and it's of course, like I said, it's made from China, and what rocked all of the tech companies from the United States was the fact that this DeepSeek outperformed Google, OpenAI, NVIDIA, and the other ones out there. I forget whatever. And Microsoft is a part of that, because remember, Microsoft spent billions to that one guy who was the founder of OpenAI or whatever, and so they got hit too. So all big tech companies all American tech companies got blasted, right? Like, so the stock market got rocked. And what was really crazy is that, well, okay, so what I'm just bringing up about games and all this and all that, this is just kind of bringing up the whole point about this, where if you keep asking for money, if you keep getting too greedy, something is eventually going to break. And so again, now the Chinese don't always play fair, for sure, and the Chinese don't always tell the truth. But the one thing that they are telling the truth is that they ain't spent nowhere near the same amount of money that the U.S. has put into the U.S. tech companies. And then already there was a bill that just there was already like, I guess, a grant or whatever that got signed to where they were going to get like $500 billion to try to be the number one AI company out there. And right now they just got their ass dog walked by a small group that only has 200, you know, developers or however the hell you want to call those people, that your workers, and it costs nowhere near the same amount of money to have something that already that outperforms it. And so I see on Twitter X, because Twitter X is now become one of those really pathetic apps where, you know, you got people that just say, I mean, it's all over the net, but it's really, really bad on X, where they're trying to, you know, dog out Deepseek and trying to talk up about this, and because I guess it's America against China. Listen, let's just get this. Let's just be real about this. The American companies got too goddamn greedy and asked for too much, and didn't do nowhere near as much innovation. They've done it, but nowhere near. How is it that when a company that has only 200 people and they can put AI on old Macs, they can put that technology on like those little there's what they call the Apple something whatever, like for people who use these things for these little tiny computers that they can put on for, like, if you want to do emulators and stuff like that. I kind of forget what the name of those things, Apple or some whatever, forgot. Somebody help me in the chat, whatever. You can put that stuff on older hardware, older computers, and work, and it's much more efficient, costs less, don't have to use as much energy. I mean, what this tells me is that you can pour in so much money into something. You can put all the money that you got into something, but and you'll have the probably some of the brightest minds and some of the best people out there. But the reality of it is that sometimes some of those best and creative people that's getting paid high dollar will sometimes get their ass kicked by a kid that's sitting in the garage just making something out of all of what they got. And that's exactly what happened right here. It was these people that they had a budget. The Chinese had the budget, and they had to make it work, and they made it work. Now, again, with the whole situation with the chips and the chip market and all that, they said that that, you know, the U.S. tried to buy as many chips as possible, and so the Chinese, this is where the Chinese do what they do. They lie or they find ways. They had more chips than what they let on, and they use chips that were not as I guess powerful or whatever, but but they use lesser products to make a better product, I guess, if that makes sense. And so again, innovation. These people are smart. Nobody's saying that the people in NVIDIA and Microsoft and all that stuff ain't smart. They are, but I just think that they wanted to sit there and wanted to get set by the government so they could just get money, and thought that they shit didn't stink, and then they got their ass kicked by a competitor overseas, and that is not a good look, and that's why the stock market got cooked. So for me, I'm like, man, I mean, NVIDIA is going to be fine. I mean, I think they're the biggest tech company in the world or whatever. But the fact of it that they lost $500+ billion, and that was losing like 15% of their shares. That's nutty. That is a lot of money. And then the resources that they're talking about that they need to have all this stuff work and all this other stuff. So again, I get to all that to say this point. What is this going to do going forward with the pricing for NVIDIA stuff? Is it going to benefit us, or will this hit us across the head even more? Because this is the thing, or just all other products as well, or how will this whole thing about AI work? Like, I mean, we don't hear about the cloud that much anymore, but I know that that's still in the weeds for future technology and things of that nature. But I would think that it would be smart if NVIDIA would go ahead and just say, look, man, I mean, they already got the pricing, and I think the pricing is reasonable for the 40 for their 50 series cards, except for the 5090. But I mean, when you look at the comparison of how it's 2 times better than the 4090, I mean, okay, but still, $2,000 is still a lot of money. But again, um, will this hurt or help them? I mean, you think that it would help them to give them good swift and a kick in the ass to where they're going to say, okay, maybe we need to start looking on maybe being a little bit more efficient, things like that. Yeah, true. But for the consumer, that's what I'm thinking about. And what does that do for for us as gamers who are PC gamers? And this also affects what goes on, what's going to happen with because AI technology is going to be in everything gaming except for except for what this new Nintendo thing is going to be. I didn't hear anything about any AI technology or anything on that on this new Switch 2, but for the Xbox, for the PlayStation 6, for what's going on with AMD, everything is going to have something that's going to do our computers, our OSs, all that, right? So what is that going to do? Is that going to help? Is it going to, because of this situation, is it going to help us or is it going to harm us? And that's, I don't know. I'm concerned about it. I am concerned about it. So that's why I brought it up. I mean, it's really not something that I could just keep elaborating and talking about like that. But I don't know. I don't know. That's why I'm bringing it up. So I want you guys to see if y'all had any thoughts about it, so so we could brainstorm about it. Jazzy Noop, he said, "Hey K Mega, it is all about how you tune your AI models." He says they didn't bother. He says, "Look at Tesla and their custom chips. They are not super fancy, but can drive a car." Right. You know what I'm saying? Well, and see, that's the type of stuff right there. Right. You don't have to be super fancy to use that stuff. Right. That's the thing right there that makes it interesting, is that, like, that's what the Chinese did, is said, look, man, we don't need to go all crazy with this. We can sit here and we can do what we can do and make it work, and they made it work. So that's what I'm saying. Like, it just has to do it. And so again, if you don't need to use as many resources as possible, then how about we don't, that means there should be less money being used, which means it should pass down to the consumer where things become cheaper, and that brings up high demand. But I don't know, the way that things are structured now is that they say, well, hell, these shareholders want more money. Yeah, spend less resources but charge more money. That's why I'm saying, that's why I'm nervous. I don't know. And then of course, if you add tariffs on anything, then Lord have mercy, then it don't really matter anyway. So we'll see about that. But I thought that was pretty interesting. I did. I just wanted to bring that up. But yeah, you hit it right there, man. Like, Jazzy, thank you so much. JD Gamer said Fallout 4 was 2014 PlayStation. Xbox and PC has had their time with it. I think Nintendo has a version of it. Yeah, no, I mean, they do. I think that, Fallout ain't gonna be an exclusive. So Fallout is gonna be one of those games that come out day one. Everything. What I'm thinking about is something like Oblivion. That's one of those monster games, right? Like, that's one of those monsters games that Xbox can flex, that would get people to want an Xbox. And if you hold it for a year, then that's the thing that you do. So again, I don't know if they will, because I mean, it's I don't know. Like, again, with the remake of Oblivion, that was an OG Xbox exclusive, right? So if that's going to be a day and date, that's going to piss some people off. But listen, I don't know. Like I said, let's see how they cook on that. I don't know how that's going to look at the end of the day, but we'll see. We'll see. I don't know. I really don't. I really don't. I really don't. One more thing before I get out of here. And that is this right here, right? I'm not going to show it, but I seen something here where two more things actually. There was one thing right here, and this is just, I'll leave that one for last, but this one was pretty funny. These two things, I think that this is a good conversation to have. It was just from G Fuel, and they said, what's the perfect game length? So I'm asking you guys in the chat, what is the perfect game length for you? So like, they showed like Ninja Gaiden Black, and they said 9 hours, God of War 2018, 20 hours, The Last of Us Part 1, 15 hours, Elden Ring 60 hours, which I don't know how anybody beat Elden Ring in 60 hours, and not got a full experience of that game. But okay. So my question is for you guys in the chat is what is the perfect length of time for you for a game? Now I know it's all about the difference of the game, but let's just say for an action game. For me, an action game anywhere from 8 to 20 is perfect. 8 to 20 is perfect. A shooter game, like for instance, like how like a shooter game, like for what we're gonna see with the Dark Ages, 5 to 20. I'm cool with that, or 5 to 15. Um, 5 to 15 is I think is reasonable. A game like Elden Ring or something like that, hundreds of hours. I don't want I don't you know I know that because I thought that I would have been fine with Metaphor being at about 80 hours because I put in about 120 something like that in there. Like I've said before, I thought that you fought Luis way too many times in my opinion, um but if they cut back on a couple of those things, 80 hours. I think that would have been appropriate. But then you got a game like Persona 5 where I put in over 200, almost 300 hours. I thought that was the perfect wavelength for the perfect length. Like The Witcher, 300 plus hours. A game like Forspoken, I put 175 hours in. I thought that was the perfect length. And I still need to go back and finish that DLC because I haven't even started it, but I need to go back and play that DLC. I don't know. That's the thing for me. I think I think that's a good question to ask about the length. Richili said 16 hours. I know that people are busy. They got their time. That you got other things to do and stuff like that. But I like that's my peace time. When I'm into a game that's really long, it's my peace time. I'm in the zone. I'm playing the game. I'm enjoying it. I'm locked in. I'm not. I don't have no thoughts about anything else except for what's going on into the game. That I like that immersion, getting immersed into a game for that many hours myself. Damn, name more. You said that damn name Omar. You said 5 to 10 is perfect, bruh. That's man. Come on. What if you bought that game and then you had a time to go and play a full session of like that whole 5 to 10 hours, man? That would I would be mad. What kind of game it is, right? Like I said, a shooter, I wouldn't want to play a shooter for 100 hours. Like that's like 50 hours. That's way too long. A shooter, I would say anywhere from 5 to 25 at the max. I even say 20. Um, I think that other than like multiplayer, but you know what I'm saying. But if it's a single player shooter, yeah, anywhere from 5 to 20 is perfect for that. Um, but yeah, we chilly 16 hours. GT Gamer said, he says, you let the Master Chief Collection Gears, One Ultimate and Fallout 4 come to the Switch 2, and it's gonna hurt the Xbox. It's just gonna help. It's just gonna help. Yeah, no, it's gonna help them. They're gonna make money. So I mean, that's what this is all about. It's all about making money for them. So I don't know. I don't know. I think it's according to the game, right? Like I mean, take away the multiplayer. Just talk about like story game. Ninja Gaiden Black 9 hours is perfect. I thought God of War 2018 length was perfect. I didn't have no problem with it at all. I'm trying to think of games that I felt like took longer than that. I was like, oh man, I'm ready for this game to be over with. There's been a couple of those games for sure. Um, hmm, trying to think. I don't know if there's something that's really just tedious. If it's just the kind of like if you get to a certain point in the game and it's just still continuing to doing the same thing. There's nothing new about the combat or if you're shooting or whatever. And if it's still the same thing, then I kind of want that game to be over with, kind of quick. I kind of wish that I could have got maybe about another couple of hours of Hellblade. I thought if I had another couple of hours of Hellblade, it'd been perfect. But Hellblade is fine for where it was. I hope that they bring some DLC to that. I would love for some DLC for that. Yeah, but no, that's pretty much how I think about that. But yeah, that was pretty interesting. And then one more thing, and that is about this. It was a plan from I get, but it didn't happen. But hopefully that it will eventually happen, and that is Sledgehammer Games reportedly had plans to do massive collaboration with Halo that would have added various maps from the franchise to Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. Bro, could you imagine? Could you imagine? But see, this is the thing though. This is well, yeah, this is the thing. I still hope that they do that. But see, we don't know what the new Halo is going to feel like or going to play like. I mean, it's got to still play something like Halo. Could you imagine how dope that would feel? Especially how nobody can ever deny that Call of Duty feels great. Like it's the standard of how a shooter should feel, right? Halo was the standard, but now Halo was the standard. I thought like again, Halo is still kind of in its Halo is in its own lane. There's not a shooter like Halo. But again, we talk about Halo 5. I thought if Halo kept to what Halo 5 was doing, oof, mwah, chef's kiss. But Call of Duty is the best feeling shooter I think around. Like the mechanics of it just is undeniable, right? So if you had those Halo maps and you playing Call of Duty and maybe of course you're going to have some Halo skins and stuff like, man, people will be demanding that there was a Halo that played like Call of Duty. Trust me on that. And maybe that could be a possibility because again, this is what's the cool thing about what I hope that Halo will do going forward is stay true to its roots, but make other games into the franchise that you can do whatever you want to with them. So you could make a Halo game that plays like Call of Duty. Like you can have a staff at Activision work on a Halo game that's let's say Team Shadow or something. You know what I mean? Like that would be so dope. And then of course you would bring back Halo Wars. You have the traditional Halo. Oh my God! Like the what ifs of how Halo should be treated it could be beautiful. But again, I don't know. We'll see. But that's pretty dope. I don't know that's pretty dope to me to see that they were in talks about that. I hope that they would do that in some capacity going forward. It would be great if you could get a Master Chief skin or or since Gears is coming up here pretty soon, some Gears skins for Call of Duty. Oh my God, that would be so fire. That'd be so fire. Oh, that would be great. So anyway, I don't know your thoughts about that, guys. I think that'd be amazing. If you can let me know in the chat, or in the comment section if you hear this later, if you watch this later. I think that would be really, really cool. But when I seen that, I was like, oh my God, the possibilities. But again, they had to rush that game out. So it's not like this can't happen going forward. Like let's say the next Call of Duty coming out here next October. So, or whatever. Now I wonder if Xbox is going to make another, are there already talks about another Call of Duty coming out this year? Or is it going to be that thing where Phil wanted kind of like to make Call of Duty into what Battlefield is where it's like 2 years and then they bring a new one out? I don't know. I would like the 2-year thing better, honestly. But I do also like the way that they got it structured to where you keep the stuff that you have. I just wish that you could bring your skins from your previous games over to the new Call of Duty game. Like, I mean, that would be really, really dope. Like that would just show more value. And now I think to me, it's just kind of like, just kind of like, well, you paid this money into this game. You know what? You paid for the skin. Go ahead and let play through that. Because I think you can with some skins, but not all skins. So because I know that I got a bunch on Modern Warfare 3. And so and I haven't bought as many on this one. On this Call of Duty yet, but I'll be looking and seeing what they're doing for season 2. Looking forward to that. So I don't know, but I hope that they will eventually do that. They would do something like that. That would be so dope if they gave the controls of Call of Duty to a Halo game. Jesus Christ, you talk about cooking. Good God. But all right, guys, I really do appreciate it, man. Thank you again. If you are new to the channel, man, and if you like the content, man, do not be afraid to hit that subscribe button. We do this Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday. The My Thoughts at 2:30. Unless there's something going on, it'll be 3. But we do it at 2:30. And yes, I will be streaming something tonight, and it'll be a fighter of some sort. Don't know if it's going to be Mortal Kombat or if it might be Mortal Kombat and but Mortal Kombat will probably be second. I'll play some definitely be playing some Virtual Fighter. So Virtual Fighter first, and then maybe some Mortal Kombat or maybe something else or whatever. But yeah, hope you guys will come and check out the stream tonight. I really appreciate y'all coming through. Y'all have a good one. I will see you guys tomorrow. All right, same time, guys. Peace.